Welcome back to the Desk of Fantasy Football Happy Hour. Jay Croucher, Matthew Berry here, along with fantasy football superstar, Lions running back David Montgomery. David, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Congratulations on a great season. I think my first question is just, how are you feeling? Got banged up during the season, came back at the end. How are you feeling?
I think my pride hurts more than my physical, but I'm good overall.
Okay, that's good to hear. David, source of maybe not contention, maybe at this desk, but the Sonic and Knuckles the nickname there. How are you feeling about that? That kind of took off during the season and became a big thing. Do you like the name?
Yeah, I think it's pretty dope. I think it's very fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who came up with it?
So it was really a fan who came up with it a year ago, and they had posted a tweet on Twitter, and one of my teammates, Craig Reynolds, showed me the tweet. I'm like, that would be kind of cool, so we kind of just ran with it from there.
Yeah, it did seem like the fans really enjoyed it. You guys embraced it. I remember you showed up actually with Sonic and Knuckles to the playoff game. Well, let's talk about your duo there. Let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. What's it like running with him in the backfield? Seems like you guys really complement each other, and more importantly, doesn't feel like there's competition. Feels like you guys really support each other and complement each other on and off the field.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we want to win, and whatever it looks like, we're willing to do. And we both are pretty selfless. But Jahmyr, he's an amazing talent as the world knows, and he's still coming on to be like exactly who he's going to be, and and I know I'm pretty good too. Yeah. So I think us together, like you said, we complement each other very well, and we want each other to be our best selves whenever we get an opportunity. So, and I think we do just that.
Yep. What's it like playing for Dan Campbell? Because from the outside, it seems like there's no one else like him. Have you ever played for anyone like Dan Campbell, and how fired up does the locker room get after all his speeches?
Yeah, so luckily all of my coaches, head coaches from high school to college to the NFL are so similar.
Okay.
They all seen something in me that the world didn't really view that I had, and what people didn't really know that I was capable of, and they took a chance on me. Both of the Campbells, Coach Matt Campbell and Coach Dan Campbell, they are so similar in a lot of ways. R.V. Crouch, my high school head coach, shout out to Coach Crouch, and then Coach Nagy. Coach Nagy being who he was, taking a shot on me, believing in me, and I'm not surprised that he's helping those guys play in the Super Bowl today just because of who he is. So I've been blessed and to have coaches like that. But Coach Campbell, Dan Campbell in specific, he a gritty guy, and he wants football players. He don't want culture vultures. He don't want people coming in just to be a part of something that we've helped create and help build over the years. So, yeah, if you're not coming to work and you're not selfless, don't even waste your time coming.
Yep.
Speaking of coaching, it does seem like you're a perfect fit for Detroit because of that offensive line, because of Dan Campbell's mentality. They want to run the ball. They want to run the ball when they get in close. They want to dominate time of possession and really kind of impose their will on a defense. Your offense coordinator, Ben Johnson, now staying in the division, going to your former team, Chicago. But I'm curious what you expect from this offense under John Morton, who's now taking over the OC. Have you had a chance to talk to John? Do you expect it to be more of the same? Do you think it'll be slightly different?
Yeah.
What are the expectations?
I don't really know. I know we're going to be good regardless. So whatever it takes or whatever we need to do to enable us to be in a position to where we can be here and not here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll be fine. So, Coaches Campbell and Brad, they do a great job of bringing the right guys in, the right dudes in, and I know they'll do the same with whoever they bring as far as coaching. So I'm not flinching at all. I have no worries in the world.
Okay. David, since you got to Detroit, how have you seen Jared Goff evolve? Jared Goff, MVP candidate this year. Seems like his game has gone through an evolution. What have you seen in the changes in him?
Yeah, I've only been there for a short period of time, but Jared's always been the same guy. He's a relentless worker. Good with the horse blinders, could care less what anybody got to say about him. He's a leader. He got this fire. It's a contagious fire. He's a perfectionist also. And you don't want to – you want guys like that, at war with you, those guys who are willing to fight for you, with you, and against anybody who's in front of us.
Yep. I want to, we care about this is a fantasy football show, and the Lions are loaded with fantasy football stars. You and Jahmyr, of course, Jared, Amon-Ra, Jameson, Laporta. I'm curious, is there somebody under the radar, somebody that's impressed you in practice, one of your teammates on the offense that you're like, this guy, if he ever gets a shot, if he ever gets some more reps, this is somebody that people need to watch out for?
Oh, yeah. We call him Munch, but his name is Jamar Jefferson.
Okay, yeah, sure. The running back, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
When you see it, you'll know.
Okay.
Just know that I was the one here to say it first.
Understood. Dynasty leaguers out there, Jamar Jefferson, mentioned that name. I mentioned earlier Ben Johnson moving over to Chicago to your former team. What are the Bears getting in Coach Johnson?
Yeah, again, they're getting a perfectionist, somebody who is works like I've never seen anybody work as hard as he does. He's funny in his own way. You just got to get comfortable enough with him to like understand his humor. But yeah, like overall, you get a great guy and somebody who's willing to go at bat for you if you're willing to put in the work for him.
Okay, let's go back to Jamal Jefferson for a second. I know you said you know it when you see it, but like, what is his skill set? What does he do so well? Obviously, it's a tough running back for him to break into.
He can do everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that I can't. There's nothing I can say that he can't do. Like, he can do everything.
Okay. Wow. Whole world. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to go make a claim on him in my league as soon as this interview's over. Hey, David, obviously you care about the Lions winning and you don't care about fantasy football, but how often does fantasy football come up in your life? Do fans come up to you? Do you talk to you? Do family members reach out? Have you ever played it yourself?
Yeah, I mean, fantasy it's evolved with the game. I never played fantasy. I'm not really a big fan of fantasy.
Fair.
Just because of like some of the things that are said to me when I don't get points or do stuff like that. But I think it's cool, like for the fans, as far as them being able to feel like they're more involved into the game and like them knowing if they're right or they're wrong. But I think ultimately, like for the fans, it's super good. But for the players, it's a little different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure. Well, I apologize on behalf of any asshole that reached out to you on
good.
I always feel like, because sometimes we hear that from players, and I'm always like, yeah, you know what? There's probably like 10% of Lions fans that are jerks as well, right? And like there's 10% of fantasy players, but most people, I think fantasy managers, if they saw you, they'd be like, hey, David, we're a fan. Can I get a picture? Can I, get an autograph? Whatever. I'm so thrilled. Thank you. I have your jersey. I root for you. I watch you on Sundays. So I'll just apologize for that. Do you get hit up for advice? Does anyone in your family members hit you up or anything like that?
About fantasy?
Yeah.
My family know not to come to me about no fantasy.
There you go.
They know not to come to me.
It's smart.
David, what do you think is going to happen on Sunday?
I don't know. I don't really care, though.
Yeah.
I ain't playing, so I'm not watching the game.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you won't watch the game? You won't even watch the game?
Not at all.
You're not there.
Do you follow like how other running backs are doing in the league? Like
for sure.
Saquon season, do you guys, have a community, you look at certain things and parts of other players' games that you look to bring into your own game?
I mean, I do that personally.
Yeah.
Like, Saquon's, he's a freak.
Yeah.
Jameer is a freak. You see guys all the time, and you're like, okay, let me see how I can kind of do this, or I can finagle my way to try to like do different moves, and it goes around the league. It shows, it's like paying homage and respect.
Yeah.
Like, to see another player who plays the same position to you, and you being selfless enough and say, I can add that to my game.
Yep. Perfect.
I'm going to apologize, David, but I want to be honest here. So I am a lifelong Washington fan, Washington Commanders fan. So I love you guys. I've said this before. I said, like, I wanted Commanders to win, but like if they didn't win, I wanted the Lions because you guys have 100% approval rating. Everyone's rooting for the Lions. But I was just curious because this is a selfish question for me. But sitting on the sidelines in that game, what did you see from Jayden Daniels?
Yeah, he nice. I wouldn't be surprised like if in a couple of years they talking about him being like the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen someone so young. Outside of Justin Fields, because I played with Justin, but like could be so poised and not really care about like the negative, ambiguous things that don't really matter. Like I've never seen somebody like speaking in reference to Justin, like coming in every day and giving you his all, no matter what it may look like. And when I look at Daniels, I look at him, I'm like, he reminds me of Justin. He just like he in a different place and they play the game different, but I'm like, yeah, he's elite.
Yep. Matthew mentioned how the Lions had like 100% approval rating. Feels like all the neutral fans really got behind this Detroit team. Like no one disliked the Lions really, outside of maybe other fans in the NFC North. Did you kind of feel that all season? This was a special team that kind of everyone was getting behind, not just Lions fans.
For sure, there's definitely people definitely showing like love to the Lions, but I think the city, like I think Detroit just deserves so much love.
Yeah.
Like. That the place of that, like the people there, beautiful people.
Yep.
They care so much, and it make you, like me in specific, it makes me like want to go harder whenever I'm doing something that's trying to attribute or try to help us win, because like you see the people in the city and you know how bad they want it.
We were there at Ford Field for Football Night in America, the final game of the season. Your guys win against the Vikings, and just the atmosphere is so crazy. I'm not a football player, but I don't know how you don't get up with that kind of energy.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't even get to play in it, so imagine how I felt. I'm like, ooh.
I can imagine. Last question for you, David. I know that you grew up and you were a scout. You were an Eagle Scout, right?
For sure.
And I know you're here in support of Scouting America. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about your work with them.
Yeah. So I just recently became partnership and brand ambassador for Scouting of America. But I know ultimately for me, scouting helped create who I am today. And there's a lot of misperceptions on what scouting is. I'm a ball player. I'm a professional athlete. I've been playing ball since I could remember when I was walking. But I've been doing scouting the same way too. And I think without scouting, I wouldn't be able to be standing right here right now with the amount of success that I have behind me without me learning the things that I was taught in scouting. So I'm so appreciative of me giving everything to scouts, and now it's giving back to me. So I'm just blessed to be able to share a light on such a beautiful organization that I was able to experience.
Yeah, no question. And the youth of America, it's super important to have those positive role models and have a place to put their energy. So, and you are obviously one of the success stories of that, I should say. Congratulations on a great season. I know it didn't end the way you wanted for the Lions, but you guys had a great year. Everyone's rooting for you. Fantasy football superstar, Detroit Lions superstar, Dave Montgomery. Thanks so much.
For sure. Thank you. And if y'all want to learn more about scouting,
yes,
any questions, go to beascout.org.
Beascout.org.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.